Choreb Beruach, Sword of the Spirit. Interpreted and narrated by Wendy. Shemot, Exodus, chapter 20. And the people stood afar off. But Moshe drew near towards the thick darkness where Elohim was. Then Yahweh said to Moshe, "Thus you will say to the children of Yisrael, you have seen that I have talked with you from the heavens. You shall not make me deities of silver and deities of gold, nor will you make for yourselves. You will make an altar unto me of Adamah, and upon it you will sacrifice your ascension offerings and your restoration offerings, your sheep and your oxen. In all places that I am reminded of my name, I will come unto you and endow you. Furthermore, if you make me an altar of stone, you will not build it of cut stone, for if you lift your tool upon it, you have polluted it. Nor will you go up to my altar by steps, so that your nakedness is not discovered upon it. Now these are the judgments that you will set before them. If you will buy an Aiberi servant, he will serve for 6 years. Then, in the 7th, he will go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he will go out by himself. If he was married, then his wife will go out with him. If his Lord has given him a wife, and she has bore him sons and daughters, the wife and her children will be her Lord's, and he will go out by himself. Yet, if the servant clearly says, I love my Lord, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Then his Lord will bring him to the judges. Also, he will bring him to the door, or to the doorpost. Then his Lord will pierce through his ear with an awl, and he will serve him forever. Furthermore, if a man sells his daughter to be a maidservant, she will not go out as the men servants do. If she is bad in the sight of her Lord, whom has betrothed her to himself, then she will be redeemed to a foreign nation. He will not rule her whom is sold, her with whom has his garment. However, if he has betrothed her to his son, he will treat her according to the custom of daughters. If he takes another unto himself, he will not diminish her food, her clothing, or her marital rights. But if he does not do these 3 for her, then she will go out for nothing, without money. He who strikes a man so that he dies, surely he will be put to death. However, if a man did not lie in wait, but Elohim delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint you a place where he will flee. But if a man intentionally comes upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, you will remove him from my altar so that he will die. Also, he who strikes his father or his mother will surely be put to death. And he who steals a man and sells him, or if he is found in his possession, surely he will be put to death. And he who curses his father or his mother, surely he will be put to death. Also, if men strive together, and one strikes another with a stone or with a fist, yet he does not die, but falls to bed, if he rises again and walks abroad upon his staff, then he who struck will be acquitted. Only he will pay for the loss of his time and the healer who heals. And if a man strike his servant or his maid with a rod, and he dies under his hand, surely he will be punished. However, if he continues for a day or 2, he will not be punished, for he is his property. Furthermore, if men fight and hurt a woman with child, so that she gives birth, yet no injury follows, surely he will be punished according to what the woman's husband lies upon him, and what is given by the judges. But if injury follows, then you will give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man strike the eye of his servant, or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he will let him go free for the sake of his eye. Moreover, if he strikes out his manservant's tooth, or his maidservant's tooth, he will let him go free for the sake of his tooth.